Hello, and welcome back to Mod Understanding. This is part 6, part 2. Now, this is the Ice and Fire mod. Now, I'll be going over all the items in the mod, and in the third one, I'll be showing off all the creatures. Now, this is sort of like the end game sort of stuff you're gonna get in the Ice and Fire mod, having full dragon steel. Now, I'll just be going over these items quick. So you have dreaded logs, burnt out torch, chiseled skull, dreadstone tiles, mossy dreadstone bricks, cracks dread. These are all like the dreadstone items that you can find on the dungeon. This is the keyhole that you use to enter the dungeon, and those are like the dreaded items. You have the pixie jars of all the different colors, and you also have the different houses that they are in. These are the dragon forges that are used to create dragon steel. These are dragon walls created out of dragon bone blocks. This is a dragon nest. These are the frozen and burnt versions of blocks whenever a dragon attacks an area. This is a pile of gold. You can find them in fire dragon areas. And the first new ore being silver, adding a new armor set and having it be in piles in the ice dragon area. These are the items, and as you can see, all the different tools do 2+ damage against any undead mob. This is the other ore, sapphire, looks like this, and it's used for trading with snow villagers. Now we have the armor. This is the dragon scale set. They're all exactly the same, just with the color. Now, the actual set itself gives you 5-2, 7-2, 9-2, and 5-2. So it's much better than diamond armor. Now, all the other sets are basically the same. Just some are harder to find and some are easier to find. Especially the ice ones. Next we have is the Tide Guardian set, which requires siren scales or shiny scales. This is also crafted with using the sea serpent scales. Now these give strength and other benefits whenever in water, which is why some people prefer it over the dragon set. You can also get these in numerous different colors due to the different scales. Next up we have is the Death Worm armor, crafted with the chitin from it. This is 3, 7, 5, and 2, so it's decently strong but not the best armor. Next we have is the Myrmex armor, also from the chitin that the Myrmex strong. This gives 4, 8, 5, and 3. There are 2 variants of it. Next we have is the Cave Troll. Now, all of these are crafted using different kinds of fur that are dropped by the cave trolls. This is 2, 5, 7, and 3. But they also give you extra protection on arrows. Next up we have the Sheep Disguise, which is basically leather but with an extra layer of wool. It's not the strongest armor, but it allows you to get up close to a Cyclops. Now we have is the Dragon steel, which is the strongest in this mod pack. There are 2 different kinds from the 2 different kinds of forges, and they give 6, 6, 9, 6, 12, 6, and 7, 6. Next we have is the eggs. Now these drop from level 4 to level 5 dragons, and they give a random color, but they have to be a fire dragon or an ice dragon. Now the hippogriff also lay eggs and are thrown, not placed. We also have the death worms, the desert Myrmex, the jungle Myrmex, and now we have the skulls. This is a tier 1 fire dragon, a tier 2 fire dragon, a tier 3 fire dragon, a tier 4 fire dragon, and the biggest kind of tier 5 dragon you can get. Now this is the biggest you can get, so they could be decently smaller. Now we have the ice dragon skull, the tier 2 ice dragon skull, tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5. Now this isn't the biggest one, but it's a big skull nonetheless. Now we have is this Definian bird, if I said that correctly, the cockatrice, the asphere, the cave troll, and we have the naga, we also have the sea serpent, and the cyclops. So this is the lectern and the bestiary. When you find manuscripts in dungeons, you can place them together and find information about the Ice and Fire mod. Now we have the items. I'll be going over them briefly. So, this is the pixie dust, gorgon head, hippogriff talon, ice dragon heart, the fire dragon heart, frozen dragon flesh, a dragon bone, wither bone, pixie wings, fire dragon flesh, a hippocampus fin, a siren tear, cyclops eye, hydra heart, hydra fang, a dredge shard, a gravekeeper's key, a sea serpent fang, deathworm tongue, a cockatrice eye, Definian bird feather, cave troll tusk, a desert Myrmex resin chunk, jungle Myrmex resin chunk, a Myrmex stinger, a aperture feather, and a rotten egg. Now these are the weapons in the Ice and Fire mod, with the strongest being the dragon set. Let me go into survival mode. Now, I'll be going over these using the cyclic test dummy, and the Dragon Seal sword does 25 attack. The Myrmex staffs allow you to control the Myrmex whenever you trade them quite a bit. Now we have the Dread Thras sword, which doesn't do any extra things, but it does 5 attack. Jungle Myrmex Stinger does 3. Desert Myrmex Stinger also does 3, but it can give a chance of poison, and it can do 4 extra attack for non-arthropod creatures. Now we have is the Dragon Bow. Now this is kind of glitchy for some reason. I've tried it a few times, and when using different arrows, it can do some odd things. But this mod also adds in quite a few other arrows, which do different things. And so, yeah, the bow sometimes doesn't work right. I've tried using it sometimes. For some reason, for me, it just doesn't work as it's supposed to. Now we have some more tools. The Dragon Staff is used to make a dragon sit and stand. Dragon Horn is supposed to be able to pick up dragons. Dragonbone Flute is used to move dragons to you. The Gravemaster's Key is able to open up the dungeon. Iron Chains are like leads. Sticky Iron Chain is basically an iron chain but can be used to connect up other creatures. And the Blade of the Dreaded Queen does 29 attack and is dropped by one of the dreaded characters. Now, the Staff of the Dreaded Queen doesn't do anything yet, but the Dread Lich Staff actually shoots a rapid shot of 6 damage, dealing like ice cubes. We have the Fishing Spear. Doesn't do any damage, but allows you to fish much easier. This can only be gotten from snow villagers. As you can see, it doesn't really throw or do any more damage than it should. Now we have the Blindfold, which is used to fight with the Gorgon, and Earplugs, which are used to not be affected by its sirens. Let me put this away. Now we have legendary items. These are like powerful weapons that can be crafted or found. The Flame Dragonbone Sword does 9.5. The Ice Dragonbone Sword does 9.5, and they both do special abilities. Hippogriff Talon Sword does quite a few damage, and can be used numerous times really quickly. The Gorgon Head turns anything to stone, even other modded mobs. The Pixie Wand shoots like magic charges using pixie dust, but I don't have any on me, so it doesn't really work at the moment. The Eye of the Cyclops weakens any hostile mobs, but since these are targets, they won't do anything. The Siren Flute makes it so that any mob around you will not fight you. The Hippocampus Flapper does 2 attack, but also slows down and stuns the enemy. The Deaththrone Gauntlet does 3 attack, and I don't think it's supposed to be doing this. Yeah, I think this might be a glitch. It's not supposed to be doing a constant attack. There are also 2 other versions of the weapon. Now we have the Hydra Heart, which will give you regeneration depending on how injured you are. We have the Tide Trident, which is similar to the regular Trident in 1.13 Minecraft, but it does 18 attack instead. And I could see it ricochets sometimes. The Amphisure Macaholitl, I doubt I said that correctly. It does 5 attack, and it kind of knocks back enemies. But since target dummies don't take any knockback, it's kind of hard to show this. The Myrmex Swarm is a one-time use weapon that spawns in 5 Myrmex to fight with you, and depending on which one you pick, it gives you a different array of Myrmex. The Stephanian Bird Dagger does 6 attack, but can fight really fast, meaning it doesn't have that much of a cooldown. The Stephanian Bird Feather Bundle shoots numerous feathers around, similar to how the actual mob attacks, but can also attack you. The Cockatrice Scepter gives with her whenever you're holding it against a mob. As you can see here, it shoots like a beam similar to a Guardian. Last up we have is the cave, the troll-like weapons. Now all of them do 16 attack and all are extremely slow, but it's fun to also collect all of them. None of them do any extra abilities, they're all pretty much the same. Now we have some of the foods of the mod. You have pixie dust, which gives you some weird effects, such as glowing levitation. And we have fire dragon flesh, which burns you, ice dragon flesh, which freezes you, frost lily and fire lily, which stop you from getting those nasty effects, and ambrosia, which is like just a regular food source. Now we have the dragon armor. These are extremely hard to craft and require blocks of items just to get the full set. We also have the hippogriff armor, which uses 2 feathers and horse armor. And finally, we have some miscellaneous items. We have the dragon meals, which like grow your dragon, sticky dragon meals with stunned health, creative dragon meals, which allow you to tame any mob, and fire dragon and ice dragon, which summon, and the fire dragon blood and ice dragon blood, which are used in the forge and to craft the blades. And that's about it for the Ice and Fire mod. There's not much else in this mod, but it's a really big mod and it's very useful for adding in some new bosses to the game if you really want to add in some extra mobs to battle. And that's about it for this mod understanding. Come for the next one just to show a battle of seeing how you can beat all these bosses and what you have to do to fight them. Bye!